Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I am Grace. So happy to have you here. We are going to practice a Samana Vayu asana practice. And Samana Vayu is the pranic energy that helps bring everything inward. And it affects assimilation, not only of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and all the wonderful things our body needs physically, but also helps us assimilate energy, experiences, so we can learn and we can grow and assimilate all the things that we're wanting to assimilate as we move through life and digest this experience, transform it into the creations that we desire to create in our lives and expand our own consciousness and our own lives. It is rooted in the sacral chakra, the second chakra. And it is, we're going to be bringing our energy here. It's a moon practice because we're bringing the energy in. We're bringing the vitality from the external into the internal organs. And when internal organs are stressed, this can affect our whole body. It's systemic things. And this is why we'll be using some twists to bring that energy inward and activate that Samana Vayu as we bring the prana in to be activate and energize, heal, and fill these internal organs, these abdominal organs, all these internal organs, and bring vitality into the body so that the body can assimilate all this energy and be in its optimal well-being. So we will be bringing our attention into this second chakra, the sacral chakra. It's just below the navel. We're dealing with the fire element in the elements. And this second chakra, personal power, empowerment inside ourselves. It's also creativity. So we'll be activating this aspect of ourselves that is creative and empowered. Let's begin the practice. Gently and kindly closing your eyes, drawing that attention inward. And we will be practicing a lot of pratyahara, as that is that limb of yoga where we remove our attention from all the external distractions and we bring our attention deeply inward, noticing what's going on within the body to complement this Samana Vayu practice. Taking a moment to scan the body, beginning with the physical body, this Annamaya Kosha, feeling where your body's connected to the earth. I'm in hero pose right now, so I can feel my sits bones on this little block I'm on. I can feel the shins and the tops of the feet connecting to the earth. Maybe you're in Sukhasana, easy pose, or maybe even laying down for a moment, feeling that support of the earth and really acknowledging the fact that your body is safe and supported by the planet Earth, by this Mother Earth, that this piece of real estate that you own right now, that you are standing on, sitting on, a sacred spot on the planet, supports your physical life. Taking a nice deep breath into the lower belly. To begin to move your awareness into the energy, noticing the energies within your body, the tingling, that sense of expansion, expanding into that pranamaya kosha. And moving into a nice 3-part yogic breath as you inhale into the belly, expand into the ribs and the chest. And letting it go. A couple 3-part yogic breaths as you begin to bring your awareness even deeper inward into feeling that heartbeat, all those inner sensations, the inner aliveness, the pulsing, vibrating, tingling, moving of energies, all that dynamic energy that's occurring within your being to moving into the Manamaya Kosha and pratyahara, inward sensation. Just checking in, noticing without making anything right or wrong or good or bad, without even having to label or explain, basking in that felt sense of your own being right here now, noticing. And taking this moment now to set an intention, maybe for this practice, for this day, maybe for the year, maybe a lifetime intention, whatever's inspiring you in this moment to create. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. And gently and kindly opening your eyes. A little rock here. Let's begin in Sukhasana position and just beginning to move, waking up the body, maybe some circles, that torso around, that whole pelvic area. Moving slow enough so you can feel the sensations in the body. Maybe there's a really juicy spot you want to massage and stay on for a moment. Keeping that breath flowing. We can keep that breath into the belly so that the relaxation response is triggered. The parasympathetic nervous system. And we can allow the body to move into calm. Deep belly breaths throughout the whole practice. And remembering as you move through this practice, in a little cat-cow, gentle seated cat-cow as we feel some flexion and extension of the spine. And if we move into any pain, we always back off. You can take a personal break and sit and stop anytime that you may need to do that. And really honoring your body. So we're going to play the edge. We don't push or force or strive. We don't move into pain. We don't want to pull any muscles where this isn't a workout as far as, Olympic strength workout. We are opening the body and we're activating and mastering these energies. The Samana Vayu today for a benefit, which is to bring vitality into the internal organs and allow us to better assimilate and process and digest not only the nutrients that we're feeding our body, but all the experiences that we are dealing with every day. So we want to honor that. Playing the edge is like a rubber band. So we could stretch it way out into a 10 and maybe it'll snap. We don't want to go there. And it can be really, really loosey-goosey. That's what we do when we're on the couch with a bag of popcorn watching movies. We're going to be kind of at like a 6 or 7 where we're creating a little tension. We're going to allow ourselves to move into some poses and hold some poses, but we're not forcing. We're just allowing the body to open with this gentle effort. Maybe gently bringing our body a little bit more, a little more effort than it's used to, so that we can continue to open it up. We're going to start with a nice gentle twist. Our first twist is this is a twist practice that activates the Samana Vayu. And so we're going to take the right hand on the left knee and take that left hand right behind the left buttocks as like a little kickstand. And as we inhale, lengthening the spine, see if you can feel some space in between those spinal processes. And on the exhale, twisting as you begin to gaze to that left shoulder. And a couple more breaths, lengthening the spine on the inhale and seeing if you can twist a little deeper on the exhale. Gazing out over that left shoulder. Then releasing little gentle micro twist to the other side. And then we'll sit up for the other side. So the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind the right buttocks for to stabilize. And we're going to inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhaling, twist. And 2 more breaths. Fall and release. Gentle little counter pose to the left and coming back to center. Beautiful job. We're going to move into a child's pose for a moment. When you're child's pose, you can open up those knees a little bit. And as you come in, let that belly rest right between the knees. The hands can be outstretched or alongside your body. Just taking a couple breaths, noticing the sensations from this twist, noticing that inward flow of energy. Your next inhale coming up. Be having lots of little pratyahara breaks as we bring our attention inward, as we're activating through the twists, the Samana Vayu, which is bringing the energy from the external into the internal organs. So in your child's pose for a moment, we're going to extend those arms out and we're going to move into a little lateral stretch. Let's bring the hands out to either side for a moment and just stretching them allowing that side body to open and breathe. Keeping that focus on pratyahara, the inward sensations in your body, that inner aliveness. And beginning to gently walk the hands. Taking a moment in the center to take one breath. And then bringing the hands over to the other side, opening up the opposite side. And one more breath. And coming back to center and coming up. And we're going to move into a nice table pose, coming up. Knees are underneath the hips and the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. So setting up that foundation first, you can stretch those fingertips out a little bit. Feeling your table pose, and we're moving into a little cat-cow. Inhaling into your cow, sticking that tailbone up, arching the back as you move into extension of the spine. And then on the exhale, moving into your cat as you tuck the tailbone under, relax the head down, round that back into flexion of the spine. And moving back and forth from the flexion to extension. Cat cow. Bringing some energy and vitality into the spinal column. Keeping that spine young, healthy, vital. And beginning to add any spontaneous movements. Maybe when you're in your cat, you want to bring the hips back, feeling a little stretch, moving side to side, maybe some circles. It's moving back and forth, cat, cow, adding any little spontaneous movements that might feel good in your body, and keeping the breath flowing. You might want to even expand that, moving all the way from child's pose into up dog. Remembering you can always put a blanket under your knees if you need that. Add some little spontaneous movements in this flow that feel good. Deep belly breaths. Noticing the sensations in your body. And coming back to center. Back into our table pose. We're going to move into a little twist again. So we're going to move into threading the needle. So we'll start, let's start on the left side. I'm going to lift my left arm up. Gonna shirt keeps in there. Lifting that arm up. You can even gaze up at those fingertips. And then we're going to take that hand and we're going to thread it right between the right wrist and right knee. and coming all the way down onto our shoulder. And you can rest on the side of your head as you move into this nice gentle twist and this nice gentle opening of your shoulder. And one more breath. On your next inhale, bringing that arm up. Beautiful job. And back down. Move into the other side, bringing the right arm up. Looking up at the fingertips. And then moving into the gentle twist and shoulder opening as you bring that left hand between, that right hand between the left wrist and left knee, resting on that shoulder and the side of the head. And breathe and relax. And one more breath here. And coming back up, reaching that right arm up, and then bringing it back down. And let's move into table pose. And move into our pratyahara for a couple breaths, really diving all our attention inward, in towards the inner being. Beautiful. Coming up again. We're going to move into a nice low lunge twist. So let's take that left foot up and bring it between the hands. And you can take that left leg and bring it back a little more. And if you want to bring a blanket under that knee, you can do that. Trying to keep this right knee over the ankle. And let's come up. It's going to be a low lunge. We're going to move into our twist. So we're going to bring the hands together in Anjali Mudra. And we're going to twist the body to the side. And you can rest that right elbow on your knee, on that left knee, and engaging in that twist, and breathe. And one more breath. Beautiful job. Untwist, up, untwist. And let's bring that left knee back in our table, and we'll bring the right leg up between the hands. And again, coming up, maintaining your low lunge. I'm going to bring that left knee back just a little bit. And palms together. We'll move into a nice low lunge twist on this right side. Bringing those hands, coming to the side, and enjoying a nice twist. And breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. And coming back to center, bring the hands down, back into your table, moving back into child's pose as we invite the invitation for pratyahara, noticing the aliveness, the sensations, the energies, moving in, the attentions, moving into the body. And inhaling, coming up. Sure works here. And we're in our table. We're going to move into our downward facing dog. So you can curl those toes under. Nice solid foundation with the hands, fingers spread, pressing the hands into the floor as you straighten the legs and lift the hips up. And find your foundation and begin to walk the dog. One heel down to stretch that calf, the opposite knee bends in. Deep belly breaths. And coming back to center. We're going to move into three-legged dog. I might need to move a little more forward. And adding a little twist. So let's take that left leg. Let's take the left leg and bring it up into three-legged dog. And bending that knee, we're opening it up and add a little twist. Opening up the hip. You want to go into wild thing, you can do that, or just stay here where we add a gentle twist and breathe. Opening the hip and adding that twist for Samana Vayu. And one more breath here. And at the bottom of the exhale, bringing the leg down. Beautiful. We move to the other side. Moving into three-leg dog with left leg up. Bending the knee and opening up the hip, adding a little gentle twist and breathe. Probably wasn't the best shirt for today, but that's okay. Noticing the difference from one side to the other. And one more breath here. Coming down at the bottom of the exhale. Beautiful. And let's walk those feet up between the hands and just rest in a nice forward fold. Hold the elbows. You can have the hands down on the earth or on some blocks. Bring the hands to the calves. Hands can rest up on your lower back. Find what feels good for you. And gently, gentle, very gentle yes, no's with the head, releasing anything in the intellectual, mental realm, just that you'd like to release. Shake it into the earth. On your next inhale, coming to a half forward fold. Hands can be either fingertips to the floor or they can be just below the knee on the shins, and feeling that spine stretching out away from the body, lengthening. And breathe into that belly. Bringing your mind into that sacral chakra. Beautiful. The next exhale, coming down, we're going to bring the right hand right in front of and between the feet as we move into a gentle twist in our forward fold. Twisting to the left as you bring the left arm up and gazing up at the fingertips. Or you can, you can keep the head in alignment with the spine and breathe. One more breath.
The bottom of the exhale, bringing the hand down and taking that left hand right a little in front of the feet, right between them, and twisting, lifting the right arm up. And gazing up or keeping the head in alignment with the spine, and breathe. One more breath. Bottom of the exhale, bringing that hand down and resting in forward fold for a couple breaths. Inhaling into half forward fold again. Letting that spine lengthen and exhaling back into forward fold. And on your next inhale, we're gonna hinge up this time. So lifting your head and lifting your heart first to protect that lower back. Bringing the hands to the hips because this is where the movement's going to be, and begin to feel that hip hinging up, coming up to a standing position. Perfect. Beautiful. So we're going to move into a balancing pose. We're going to move into the eagle balancing pose. This is Xander, ecstatic yoga kitty. So all the videos, most all the videos, sometimes he's looking at me and you can't see him, but usually you can see him. So eagle is a beautiful twist. And this is going to bring in that Samana Vayu energy. So we're going to be activating that inward flow of energy as we move into this beautiful twist and out of balance too. So we'll take it slow and remembering we can always use this opposite foot as we move. We want to touch the floor to help us with our balance. So I like to always set up the twist. Oh, baby. Before we go into it so we can be real stable in our twist. So let's take all our energy and our attention into that right standing leg. And imagining this right standing leg as a tree trunk. And Dandy. The tree trunk is going way down into the earth. Imagine the roots going into the earth. So you're nice and solid. Your energy, your tension is in this right standing leg. It's solid. Very little weight on this left leg. And we're going to bend that knee a little bit, that right knee, as we take the left leg up and over the right leg. And this is where this toe can come down and help us with the balance. If you can curl that toe around back behind the leg, that's fabulous. So my left leg is on top. I'm going to bring the arms out and I'm going to make sure my left arm, so this side, is actually on the bottom of the arm. So I'm going to swing them. And then I'm going to bring those elbows down a little bit. And then bending that knee even more, that right knee a little more. Find what feels right for you. Find a dristi, a point in front of you that's not moving, you can gaze at to help your balance. And breathe. One more breath. Beautiful. On the next inhale, coming up, releasing the twist. Back to standing and taking a moment to notice the energies. We're going to move on to the other side. So we're going to take our weight, our energy, our attention into the left standing leg, very little weight on the right. And again, imagining this is nice solid, it's going deeper into the earth. Maybe even imagining that root system, keep you so stable. And gently bend that left knee a little bit as you take the right leg over the left. You can curl that foot behind, you're ahead of me. And bringing those arms out. And now we're going to, because the right leg is on top, we're going to make sure that right arm is below. And bringing that elbows down a little bit, bending that left knee, finding your bend, finding your drishti, and breathe in your eagle. One more breath here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, releasing and coming back and taking a moment to just stand and receive and assimilate and absorb this energy moving in, vitalizing the internal organs for optimal health and well-being. Beautiful. Opening the eyes. We're going to move into a nice wide stance, nice wide, bring the legs nice and wide. And we're going to move into a forward fold, wide leg forward fold as we go into some little gentle twisting and wide leg forward fold. So we'll be activating some inversion energy and some twist in that Samana Vayu, activating that energy. Inhale, lengthening the spine, bringing the hands right on the hips. Let's tilt that pelvis forward a little bit to protect the lower back and begin to hinge forward at the hips on your exhale. Beautiful. And bringing the hands to some blocks or the floor. Relaxing the head. And let's bring the left hand to the center, twisting up, feeling a nice twist, gazing up at the right fingertips. One more breath. And coming down at the bottom of the exhale. The right hand on the earth between the hands and twisting to the left, bringing the left arm up, gazing up towards the left fingertips or keeping the head in alignment with the spine. And breathe. One more breath. Down at the bottom of the exhale. Let's walk the hands over to the right foot and allow a nice little stretch here. Deep belly breaths. Noticing the sensations, the stretch in this right leg. Beginning to walk the hands over the left leg. Taking some breaths here.
So you feel a nice stretch on that left leg. Just a gentle twist. And coming back to center. And let's bend the knees and come all the way down. Let's move into a nice gentle squat for a moment. And the heels may be down on the floor, they may be reaching up. So find your perfect squat. You can have the hands taking a couple breaths here. One more breath. Down. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Just, so coming down onto our backs. Taking a moment, feel those feet on the earth, the knees are up. Let's just press into the feet, lift the hips, and just moving them around a little bit. Just two-legged table. And gently coming down one vertebrae at a time as you massage that spinal column, all those vertebrae, spinal processes. And let's push into the feet and let's move into bridge. Like Sandy. Lifting the hips, coming into a nice gentle arch and a back bend, bringing the arms and shoulders underneath you, clasping the hands, making sure those knees are about hip width and they're not spreading apart. You can put a block in between them to train them to stay hip width. I'm taking a couple breaths here. Getting a little bit of heart opening. One more breath. And releasing the hands. Coming back down one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. And bringing those knees into the chest. And rocking back and forth. Let's bring those legs up, but let's take those legs and twist them for a moment. And still flex and extend the feet a little bit. And let's twist them the other way. Beautiful. And bring those legs down. Beautiful. And let's take that left leg out straight. Let's bring the right knee in and let's bring it out a little wider. So as we pull that right knee into the body, it's coming wider, not onto the ribs, but more down towards the earth. And that left leg is pressing towards the earth. And those two separate lines of energy, left pressing down to the earth, right is coming in towards the body. And breathe. One more breath here.
Beautiful. Let's release that right leg, keeping that knee up and the right foot on the floor. As you take the buttocks and bring them over to the right a little bit, and over to the right, and then take that right knee as you're bringing it over to the left into supine knee down twist. So the left hand can guide that right knee over, finding your gentle edge, taking the right arm out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over the right fingertips and enjoying this nice deep twist. And we'll do a little bit longer breaths, giving the body time to really assimilate and absorb this pose. We're twisting the spine and the cervicals as we turn the head, the thoracics, and the lumbar vertebrae, bringing cleansing and vitality to the internal organs. Breathe and relax into the pose. One more breath. Beautiful job releasing the knee, coming back onto your back. Taking a moment, one breath. And then let's take that right leg straight out and bring the left knee in towards the body, bringing it out a little wide so we don't pull into those ribs, pressing the right leg towards the earth. Left knee is coming down in towards the body. Find those two lines of energy and breathe. Can engage those bandhas. One more breath. And on your next exhale, releasing that left leg. Bring those hips over to the left a little bit as you bend that left knee over to the right. Right hand can guide it as we go into our supine spinal twist on this side. Reaching that left hand out 90 degrees and turning the head to gaze out over the right fingertips. And breathe, absorb, and enjoy this nice deep twist. Activating the Samana Vayu. One more breath. Beautiful job releasing that left leg. Coming back to center. Keep bringing those knees gently side to side.
Beautiful. And let's bring those knees into the chest. Release that lower back, rocking a little bit, gentle rocks. Let's bring those feet together in a Supta Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly, wrapping the hands around the feet, and them up, and then gently guiding those feet down in towards the body. You feel the hips opening up. You can use those elbows a little bit, and up the legs, and enjoy this nice supine butterfly pose. Beautiful hip opener. You can engage that Mula Bandha and breathe. Bringing your mind and your attention into that sacral chakra. And then hands are on the outside of the feet, and bringing those legs out straight, maybe pulling them in towards the body. Feel a nice stretch in the leg muscles, and breathe. Deep belly breaths. Tension on that second chakra, sacral chakra. Also governs sexuality, reproduction, creativity, standing in our own personal power, not giving our power away or falling into victim mode where we've given all our power away to something outside of us that has taken our happiness away. And then let's bend those knees, keeping them nice and wide as you move into baby, and gently pulling down gently, opening up the hips even more. And when you feel ready, you can begin to rock around, maybe move into some happy baby. Noticing all those beautiful sensations in your body. And then releasing happy baby, we're going to do one more pose before we move into Savasana. So bringing the feet down to the earth, knees are up, and let's drop both knees over to the right. So they're stacked on top of each other. Then lifting that left knee up and beginning to nice and gently, slowly bringing it over to the left. And let's take a pause here in the middle in this open butterfly pose. Feet and soles of the feet are together. Noticing the sensations, a couple breaths here. And then lifting that right leg and nice and gently and slowly bringing it over to the left. So they stack on top of each other. And continue to repeat this. It's a nice gentle twist to complete this Samana Vayu twist practice. Find your pace. Find your pauses, noticing the sensations. Deep belly breaths. And taking a moment now to do any poses, move into any poses, make any movements before we move into Savasana. Listening to your body, what it may need. Maybe some releases, some cow, hula, hip pointers, maybe a pose your body wanted to do today. When you're ready, moving into your Savasana, finding a comfortable position. Maybe you want to put socks on or a blanket or an eye pillow. Getting yourself comfortable, nurturing yourself so that you can relax in Savasana, letting everything go and integrating and absorbing the entire practice. Feeling the body sinking down into the earth. Letting all the tension be released from the muscles. Letting the bones relax, become heavier and sinking towards the earth. Inviting absorption of prana and life force into those internal organs as you invite them to relax for the Savasana. Inviting relaxation of the lungs, all the systems of the body, the brain, the nervous system, the spine. Letting everything go, resting deeply in silent stillness for a few breaths.
And taking a nice deep breath into the belly as you signal the body to come back. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, stretching out the arms and the legs. Getting back into this physical body, Asana Vayu. When you're ready, coming over to one side or the other, noticing the organs shifting, the fluids shifting. Taking a couple breaths here as you bring your awareness inward. And on the next inhale, coming up to a seated position. And taking a moment now to scan the body again, noticing how you're feeling in this moment in time, maybe even noticing any shifts. Staying in that felt sense, if thoughts come in, just move back into noticing the felt sense, sensations, energetically, emotionally, physically, in the body. And bring yourself back to that intention you set at the beginning of practice. And releasing that intention with a this or better, this or better, this or better. Bringing the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra. And we'll close this practice with the Namaste prayer. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. And when I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me with Ecstatic Yoga, Samana Vayu practice. I am Grace, wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.